The H-1B season is right around the corner. But what if you're not going to be selected in the lottery? What options you may have as an H-1B prospective employee that is not selected in the lottery? What else can you do to stay in the United States and potentially work? In this video, I'm going to go over all the options that you may have if you're not selected in the H-1B lottery. What other options you may have to be able to stay, live, and work in the United States. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our Immigration channel. This is a place where we get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration information, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help employers and employees with all their needs for work visas, sponsorship, green cards, all the good stuff. So in this video, we'll talk about what do you do if you're not selected in the H-1B lottery, and now you're stuck. What are the options that you may have? As you know, H-1B season is right around the corner, and I want to make sure you get all the information and have plan B just in case you're not selected in the H-1B lottery. But before that, if you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our videos. Click the notification bell and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. So, what is this H-1B visa? H-1B visa allows employers to sponsor foreign nationals to work in specialty occupation jobs. Most of these jobs require at least a bachelor's degree. To be able to get an H-1B, you at least need a job offer from an employer. There is an annual cap of 65,000 H-1B visas, plus another 20,000 added if you have a master's degree from a US university. Because the demand for H-1B visas exceeds the amount of visas they're actually able to allocate, the USCIS conducts a pre-filing registration that takes place in March that randomly selects 85,000 H-1B visas. What if your prospective employer's H-1B registration wasn't selected? What options you may have to still be able to stay and work in the United States? Number one, F1 visa, optional practical training, also known OPT, or CPT, curricular practical training. International students who graduate from a US post-secondary university are eligible for 12 months optional practical training work permit to work in the United States in a field related to their studies. International students who graduate with a degree in a STEM field and are going to be employed by a US employer who is part of the E-Verify program can get an OPT for an additional 24 months. Some F1 students who are currently enrolled in school can qualify for curriculum practical training to work while they're studying. So these are a few options. If you're not selected in H-1B, you can fall back on your F1 visa status and still work while trying to apply for the H-1B the following season. Number two, there are non-immigrant visas that are available for certain nationalities. Not everybody can qualify, but those nationalities can specifically get those specific visas, and I'll mention to you what they are. H-1B visas are available for nationals of Singapore and Chile. Requirements to qualify for the H-1B visas are similar to the regular H-1B visa, and the good thing is that the limit on these H-1B was never reached because I guess there are not enough candidates from those countries that apply to exhaust the limit. The next visa specific for nationality is the E3 visa. The E3 visa is available for nationals of Australia who are going to work in the United States in a specialty occupation. Again, very similar to the H-1B visa, but it's specifically focused on citizens of Australia. So if you're Australian and you apply for the H-1B visa, you're not selected, you can fall back on the E3 visa, get it, and then apply for the H-1B the following year. Finally, under the NAFTA treaty, TN visa is available for citizens of Mexico and Canada. Once again, there's a list of occupations that will qualify you to apply for TN. Many of them require a degree just like the H-1B, but it's another option for nationals of Mexico and Canada in case they were not selected in the lottery to apply for the TN visa and then try again the following year. This category is treaty traders and treaty investors. Nationals of certain countries can qualify for the E1 or E2 visa. The E2 visa is based on investment, so if you're not selected in the H-1B lottery, you may want to start a small business. If your country is on that list, you can start a business or start a consulting company and offer your services as a freelancer, and then maybe afterwards, if the company wants to apply for the H-1B again, you can do it in another year. For the E1, it's a treaty trade. Maybe you want to start a trade business with your country. Trade must be at least 50% between the US and the treaty country, and you can qualify for an E1 or an E2 visa to bridge the gap while you're waiting to apply for the H-1B the next year. If you're an international entrepreneur, you may request a special parole based on the International Entrepreneur Rule. That is something new that just passed about a year ago, and you may qualify for that if you meet the certain requirements. Next category is the H-1 visa for individuals of extraordinary ability. If you have extraordinary ability in business, in arts, in science, or education, you are qualified to apply for the H-1 visa. The H-1 visa doesn't have a numerical cap. You can apply for it and keep extending it. And the good thing about the H-1 visa is that you can start at any time, unlike the H-1B visa, where you can only start working when the fiscal year starts, which is October 1. As soon as your H-1 visa is approved, you can start working for the employer at any time. Next category is visa for trainees. So you're not selected for the H-1B visa, but your employer will decide to maybe offer you some sort of a training. There's two visas. There's the H-3 visa, which is a training that you have to show that is not available in your home country. As long as you can prove that and show that the company has a legitimate training, you can qualify for the H-3 visa for up to 24 months. We've been doing a lot of these H-3 visas for hospitality, for construction, for science, for many, many industries. And it's a really good visa if you meet the requirements to bridge the gap between the H-1B and the next season. The next category is a J-1 visa. It's also a trainee visa. The only drawback with the J-1 is that to obtain the J-1, you have to leave the country and return, because that visa can only be issued at a U.S. embassy. You cannot change your status from student or whatever status you're here to the trainee visa. You can do that with the H-3, but you cannot do that with the J-1. Temporary assignment abroad is the next category. If your employer that currently offered you the H-1B job has an office overseas, you may qualify for a transfer visa. If you move to overseas, spend a year, then they can bring you back on the L visa. If you have a managerial role, you can qualify for the L1A visa. If you have a special skill, you can qualify for the L1B. Some companies were able to transfer employees for a year overseas, so they can bring them back on a different visa to avoid dealing with the H-1B. So just another option that I wanted to mention to you, L1A or L1B options. And finally, if none of these options work for you, the same employer that sponsored you for the H-1B, that decided to do that for you, can also file for your green card. So even if you're not selected for the H-1B, you can still fall back, let's say, on the student status, and while you're here, that employer can start your green card in the EB3 category or EB2 category just to save time. Remember that they can file for the green card even without the H-1B, and some employers are not aware of that, but that is also a good option. So hopefully these options are helpful, because who knows, maybe you also can qualify under these options and not be stressed about losing the opportunity to get the H-1B visa because you were not selected in the lottery. Once again, I wish you good luck with your H-1B efforts, and hopefully you will all be selected in the lottery. If you need my help with any of these visas, text me 619-483-4549. I'm here for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.